It doesn't start with a bang. There is no sudden Hollywood explosion that announces its arrival. It starts with a quiet hum in a factory that was once filled with human voices. It begins with the soft whir of a servo motor in a hospital hallway at 3 a.m. It's the subtle, almost imperceptible shift from science fiction to operational reality. You've seen the viral videos. The backflips, the dance routines, the clumsy stumbles that feel almost charming. But that's the performance. That's the shiny tech demo designed for clicks and headlines. The real revolution, the one that is poised to redefine the 21st century, is happening just off camera. It's quieter, it's more profound, and it is moving at a speed that virtually no one predicted. They told us we had decades, a fantasy reserved for blockbuster films and futurist conferences, but they were wrong. Right now, as you are watching this, a new kind of workforce is being manufactured on a global scale. That real humanoid robots, the kind that think, move, and work like us, were still a distant dream. A species of machine, built in our own image, is learning to walk, to see, to think, and to work alongside us. And in some cases, to work in place of us. Right now, the humanoids are clocking in at warehouses, assembling cars, serving customers, greeting guests at airports, even co-piloting planes. Not in science fiction. In real life, in the shadows of factories, on the showroom floors, and deep inside research labs, the future is no longer approaching. It has arrived. Quietly, relentlessly, and in this video, we're taking you on a journey across the globe, country by country, to uncover the most advanced, most shocking, and most disturbingly human-like robots ever built. We'll show you the Chinese robot that just ran a real half-marathon, the Japanese bot that swings swords like a master samurai, the Canadian machine that can fold towels and take your job, without making a sound. And yes, the Russian android that can look you in the eye and smile like it knows your secrets. This is the story of the companies, the engineers, and the nations all racing toward the same world-altering goal, a fully functional general-purpose humanoid robot. Before we continue, kindly subscribe and like this video to support this channel. This is not another top 10 list. This is the humanoid detailed documentary. These aren't prototypes, these aren't CGI. These are fully functioning humanoid robots, and they're doing things no one expected. Not this soon. You'll meet machines with tendon-based artificial muscles, ones that speak multiple languages, scan your emotions, and respond with perfectly timed facial expressions. Robots that can weld ships, flip backwards, write poetry, and even hold full conversations, better than some humans. And by the end of this video, one question will echo louder than the rest. Are we ready for this? So buckle up, because what you're about to see isn't some viral tech demo. It's a full-scale look at the humanoid revolution already underway. From the assembly lines of Shanghai to the labs of California, from Riyadh to Osaka, from Tesla to Tokyo. Some of these robots will impress you. Some will scare you. Hard. So forget what you think you know about robots. The theories have been tested. The prototypes have been built, and the capital has been invested. The doors to the labs are open. The production lines are running. This is the world's most shocking humanoid lineup, and it starts right now. Welcome to the Humanoid Report. Let's start this with South Korea, the silent powerhouse, the nation where robotics is often viewed not just as a commercial race, but as a deeper societal calling. Here, the drive to innovate is fueled by some of the world's most pressing demographic challenges and a long-standing cultural fusion of tradition and technology. In these countries, a robot is not merely a tool for efficiency. It is a potential solution to an aging workforce, a companion for the elderly, and an extension of a centuries-old pursuit of perfection. This is where engineering becomes an art form. South Korea isn't just about K-pop and smart TVs. In 2024, they quietly dropped one of the most promising work-ready humanoids in the race, and most people missed it. Meet the RBY-1 from Rainbow Robotics. This 5'8" robot, under 60-kilogram robot is a direct competitor to the general-purpose models coming from the US and China. Built with a practical blend of aluminum and carbon fiber, it features a completely open control architecture, making it highly attractive to researchers and third-party developers, and built for one thing: utility over flash. Forget parkour or sword tricks. This robot walks like a human, carries light payloads, and handles logistics inspections, factory tasks, and customer service without breaking a sweat. It's made from aluminum and carbon fiber, lightweight but strong, and features built-in torque sensors with an open control architecture. Developers can fully reprogram its behavior using Rainbow's native OS or plug in external software via APIs. But what makes RBY-1 a sleeper hit is this: it's not a solo performer. It's designed to sync seamlessly with Rainbow's quadrupeds and robotic arms, turning it into a plug-and-play unit in a larger robotic ecosystem. Already deployed in pilot programs at Incheon-based factories, RBY-1's price tag is under $100,000, an aggressive bid to make Korea a serious contender in the global humanoid race. Now this one's straight out of a sci-fi script. At KCE, South Korea's Advanced Institute of Science and Technology, researchers built a humanoid that doesn't just move like a pilot, it flies like one. It's called Pibot, and it physically sits in a cockpit, toggling switches, adjusting throttle, reading flight instruments, and co-piloting planes, without changing a single part of the aircraft. Unlike software-based autopilot systems, Pibot uses its robotic arms to interface with traditional control panels, just like a human would. It has stereo cameras to read analog dials, thermal sensors to monitor warning lights, and large language model integration that allows it to read, understand, and execute emergency protocols on the fly. In simulator tests, Pibot successfully completed full gate-to-gate flight cycles, takeoff, cruising, landing, all without human help. The ultimate goal: to serve as a backup pilot in unmanned or single-pilot aircraft, especially in high-risk scenarios like emergency landings or remote operations. You heard that right. Korea just built a robot that can fly a plane, with no joystick hacks, no special software, just muscle memory and machine learning. But here's where South Korea goes full beast mode. In 2024, Persona AI, a Seoul-based startup, signed a deal with HD Hyundai, HD Korea Shipbuilding, and Vasilco to co-develop industrial-grade humanoid robots for one of the dirtiest, most dangerous jobs on the planet: shipbuilding. These robots won't do TikTok dances or customer service. They'll crawl into the dark corners of ship hulls, welding steel plates in toxic, tight, high-heat environments. Designed with rugged builds and visual reasoning, they'll use reinforcement learning to adapt in real time, no pre-coded scripts. Prototype units are set to roll out by 2026, with mass deployment in Korean shipyards by 2027. It's not about publicity. It's about solving real-world labor shortages in industries no one wants to work in anymore. When these bots hit the docks, Korea might just have built the first humanoids that earn a living doing blue-collar work. While the world watches the flashy robots of China and the US, Korea is building the ones that will actually show up to work. Not to perform, but to replace. And they're doing it faster than anyone expected. While most headlines focus on Silicon Valley or Shenzhen, Iran has been quietly building its own path into humanoid robotics, from the ground up, with limited foreign tech. Even with the war, they are still building things that is spectacular. And in 2024, that path led to a surprising milestone: the launch of Sharenna V, a full-body humanoid that walks, talks, and performs real-world tasks in Farsi. Built by researchers at the University of Tehran, Sharenna V stands 6 feet tall, weighs around 62 kg, and features full bipedal locomotion, hand and finger dexterity, stereo camera-based face tracking, gesture recognition, and multilingual voice interaction with Farsi as default. While it may not match the raw power of a Tesla bot or the agility of Unitree's H1, Sharenna's real strength lies in what it represents: a fully homegrown humanoid, developed and assembled within Iran's own borders, with minimal reliance on Western suppliers or tools. In live demonstrations, Sharenna walked on uneven terrain, picked up tools, pressed control panel buttons, and recognized faces and spoke with visitors in formal and conversational Farsi. The fingers are driven by torque-controlled actuators, making it capable of handling small tools, opening doors, or performing inspection routines. Sharenna V isn't just a lab experiment. It's a strategic project, aimed at training Iran's next generation of AI and robotics engineers, demonstrating domestic technological capability, and preparing for use in education, research, and government showcases. While it may not be deployed in commercial factories just yet, it stands as Iran's most advanced humanoid to date, and a powerful symbol of national technological ambition. In a world of humanoids built to dominate markets, Iran built one to stand for independence. Sharenna may not win speed tests or break Guinness records, but it walks upright, speaks its native language, and proves one thing loud and clear. You don't need Silicon Valley to build a robot. You just need vision, grit, and purpose. Now let's move to a place where the focus shifts from sheer scale to surgical precision, from mass production to meticulous craft. Here I am talking about Japan, where robots become culture, a nation where robotics is often viewed not just as a commercial race, but as a deeper societal calling. Here, the drive to innovate is fueled by some of the world's most pressing demographic challenges and a long-standing cultural fusion of tradition and technology. 2024, the University of Tokyo introduced a robot that doesn't just move like a warrior, it learns like one. Musashi is a humanoid inspired by Japan's legendary samurai, Musashi Miyamoto. But this isn't cosplay. It's a high-performance humanoid built to master full-body coordination tasks like sword swinging, archery, and tool handling, with frightening grace. What makes it different? It doesn't rely on preset animations. Instead, it learns in real time through a multi-layered feedback loop, combining visual motion capture, muscle-level torque sensing, and reinforcement learning. In one demo, ICUB Musashi wielded a wooden bokken with such balance and control that actual martial artists applauded. Its limbs are modular, its balance system is dynamic, and its movements are pure poetry in motion. But this robot wasn't built for combat. Its movement engine is being adapted for surgical robotics, disaster response, and even athletic training. Leave it to Japan to turn robotics into a fusion of science and art. Next up is a robot built for the tracks, literally. When J.R. West, one of Japan's biggest railway operators, teamed up with developers in 2024, they didn't create a labbot. They built a 6 feet 1 inch full-sized maintenance humanoid, designed for wrench turning, cable plugging, high-risk rail work. Here's how it works. The robot is mounted on a hydraulic boom lift. Once in position, it mirrors the exact movements of a human operator wearing a motion tracking suit. Latency: under 100 milliseconds. The result: the robot can handle signal rewiring, bolt tightening, and powerbox inspection 30 feet off the ground, with zero scaffolding and minimal human risk. Twin 7-DOF arms, force-controlled actuators, 360-degree stereo vision, and hands delicate enough to unfasten corroded bolts. This isn't a PR stunt. It's one of the first real attempts to put humanoids into infrastructure work, where precision, safety, and reliability are life or death. Now from steel and scaffolding, to softness and care. Unveiled in early 2025, ARC-C, short for AI-driven robot for embrace and care, is Japan's answer to a silent national crisis: a rapidly aging population and a shortage of caregivers. Developed by Westwood University, ARC-C isn't a helper, it's a full-bodied nursing assistant, weighing around 330 lbs, and capable of performing patient repositioning to prevent bed sores, assistance with dressing, simple meal preparation, and emotional interaction and conversation. Its design includes advanced force sensors for delicate lifts, temperature-stable actuators for human-safe contact, and a behavioral model trained on elder care scenarios. But ARC-C goes beyond tasks. It uses emotion recognition software to adjust tone, facial response, and gestures based on the patient's mood. Expected to be deployed in medical facilities by 2030, ARC-C may not look like a caregiver. But for Japan's elders, it might soon become the warmest robot in the room. This is where Japan blurs the line between robot and philosopher. Alter 3, developed by Osaka University in collaboration with Mixi Corporation, isn't designed to build, lift, or run. It's here to ask deeper questions. Can a robot feel rhythm? Can it create beauty? This machine has 42 actuators, a prosthetic-like silicone face, and a neural network trained not for logic, but for emotion, through motion. And it's not just theory. Alter 3 has conducted live orchestras at the new National Theatre Tokyo, performed in experimental music events, and participated in research on robotic self-awareness. Its design intentionally reveals its mechanical structure, neck pistons, servo arms, wires, to spark thought. Is this life imitating man, or man rebuilding life? Alter 3 may never work in a factory, but in the world of AI and art, it's one of the most hauntingly human machines ever created. In Tokyo hospitals, a more recent prototype, known as ARC-C2, nicknamed R, is already showing up in pilot tests. Built for companionship and emotional support, as much as physical aid, or prepares light meals, helps patients sit up, assists with bathing and dressing, and folds laundry with gentle robotic arms. She doesn't just do tasks. She senses loneliness, detects stress through voice and facial analysis, and responds with conversation, songs, or even poetry in both English and Japanese. ARC-C2 is being framed not just as a caregiver, but as a daily companion, someone who remembers your stories, reminds you to take medication, and tells you you're not alone. In Japan, humanoid robots aren't just workers. They are artists, healers, companions. Whether swinging swords, flying solo, or folding towels, each robot represents something deeper, a future where machines don't just copy what we do, they reflect who we are. Quick creator tip. Before we head to Russia, if you're working on YouTube videos, documentaries, or even simple reels, I've been using a tool called FlexClip, and it's honestly become my favorite way to turn scripts into clean, professional videos fast. You convert your text into full videos, add voiceovers, subtitles, and stock clips in minutes at. And you don't need to download anything. It's all browser-based. It's perfect for creators, educators, or anyone automating content. Try it free with the link below. It's helped me streamline my workflow massively. Now, back to the robots. Let's move to Russia, where they are building the android that stares back. It doesn't flip. It doesn't dance. It just looks at you. And you don't forget the look. Robo-C2, developed by Promobot LLC in 2024, is less of a robot, and more of an android. Built with a hyper-realistic face, blinking eyes, lip-syncing speech, and programmable emotional expressions, Robo-C2 is designed for one thing: face-to-face interaction that feels almost too real. Standing upright with a head and torso design, it's already being used in banks, government offices, airports, and museums. Its voice system is multilingual. Its facial recognition database can remember previous users, greet them by name, and tailor responses in real time. And its speech AI can hold dynamic, multi-turn conversations, explaining services, verifying identities, or giving directions. But what truly makes Robo-C2 unforgettable is its uncanny valley mastery. The skin texture, subtle eye shifts, slight smile delays, it's almost human, and your brain can't quite decide if you trust it. Promobot offers a digital twin service, where the robot is trained to mimic the voice, expressions, and tone of a specific person, including celebrities, historical figures, or you. You can literally make a copy of yourself, one that greets, speaks, smiles, and serves in your place. It doesn't walk, it doesn't run, but it remembers your name, matches your gaze, adjusts its tone, and answers your questions like a hotel clerk who knows you just lied about your passport. Russia isn't building bots for backflips or factories, it's building doppelgangers, spies, human decoys. Robo-C2 is a quiet glimpse of a different robotic future, one where you're not sure whether the person you're talking to ever had a heartbeat. It's time to talk about China, the industrial tsunami. They don't make a lot of noise, they don't launch with red carpets, they just build, fast, and then flood the world with machines. On the factory floors, and in the tech hubs of the world's most ambitious industrial power. To understand the humanoid revolution, one must first understand the sheer unprecedented scale of China's ambition. This isn't merely the work of a few innovative startups, in or so. This is a coordinated, national strategy, backed by billions in government funding and fueled by a relentless competitive drive. Under initiatives like Made in China 2025 and the Robot Plus Action Plan, Beijing has sent a clear message to the world. The future of manufacturing, logistics, and service will be built on a robotic workforce, and China intends to be its primary architect. The goal is not just to innovate, but to innovate and deploy at a velocity the world has never witnessed. What we are seeing here is not just the birth of new machines, but the dawn of a new industrial paradigm. China's humanoid robotics industry has gone from lab test to industrial takeover in under 5 years. And what you're about to see is proof that this isn't an arms race, it's a deployment sprint. At the forefront of this charge are companies who are not just building advanced prototypes, but are aggressively pushing humanoids into the commercial market, making them more affordable, accessible, and capable than ever before. You cannot discuss the commercialization of humanoids without starting with Unitree. If a company like Boston Dynamics created the awe-inspiring, high-end dream, Unitree is trying to put that dream into the hands of the masses. First, with the G1. Let's start small, but powerful. The Unitree G1 is just 4 feet 4 inches tall and weighs 35 kilograms. It dances, it flips, it does kung fu. And yes, it's real. But underneath the viral clips is a serious piece of hardware. 23 high-torque joints, twin-depth cameras, a quick-swap battery, and a top speed of 4.5 miles per hour. It can lift crates, do push-ups, and patrol shops. And Unitree is selling it for just $9,500. Founder Wang Xingxing calls it the Raspberry Pi of humanoids, hoping developers around the world use it to prototype, code, and create a new wave of robotic tools. And it's working. People are teaching it to greet guests, deliver packages, and even play ping pong. Now take the G1 and give it limbs like a gazelle. But if the G1 is the accessible developer kit, its taller, more formidable sibling, the H1, is a statement of raw power. Revealed in 2023, the nearly 6-foot-tall H1 didn't just walk onto the scene, it sprinted in and shattered the Guinness World Record for the fastest humanoid robot, clocking an astonishing 7.3 miles per hour, making it the fastest humanoid robot ever. It followed that up with a standing backflip that looked almost effortless, a feat made possible by a carbon fiber frame and immensely powerful actuators in its knees that can recalculate its balance 500 times every second. With 600 Nm knee actuators and dual hot swappable batteries, it also absorbs beam strikes and keeps going. This isn't just a lab specimen. Chinese logistics giant JD.com has already begun piloting H1 robots to load packages onto delivery bots. With rumors of a stripped-down version priced under $90,000, the H1 is Unitree's play to massively undercut the high-end industrial market, potentially making it the first mass-produced, high-speed humanoid to enter the workforce. At this pace, the next time you see someone jogging through an airport with a box, it might not be a person. Next up, Iron, from EV giant Xpeng. A 5 feet 8 inches humanoid with the brain of a self-driving car. It uses Xpeng's autonomous driving tech, including 8-megapixel stereo vision, solid-state LiDAR, and an NVIDIA Orin brain, with torque-dense joints with 200 degrees of freedom. In the demo, it dribbled a soccer ball, loaded parts onto a pallet, and even fist-bumped the CEO. No remote control needed. Cost? Around $70,000, and it's already roaming Xpeng assembly lines. Next year it could be in dealerships, replacing floor staff. Forget entertainment, the Walker S1 was built to work. At 5 feet 7 inches, it performs visual inspections, screw tightening, parcel handling, and leak detection in cold storage. Deployed in factories like BYD, Audifa, and Foxconn, it's already replacing human labor in repetitive workflows. Its neural brainnet system allows it to learn from other robots in real time. One Walker S1 gets smarter. All of them do. UBTECH says it could eventually handle 20% of all factory tasks. A quiet army is forming, and it's learning fast. Then there's Star 1, the bot that sprinted across the Gobi Desert. Built by Robot Era, it's built for motion high-torque actuators, real-time gait correction, stable even on rocks, sand, and slopes. It's being developed for security patrol, outdoor delivery, and emergency response, places drones and wheels can't reach. It doesn't just move like a soldier, it trains like one. Shanghai based Fourier intelligence built the GR2 for clinics. But don't let its gentle touch fool you. It has magnesium alloy joints, a 30-pound arm lift capacity, rehab mode for patient support, and a steerable torso clutch for therapists. It's not for combat, it's not for showrooms, it's for stroke recovery, spinal therapy, and human dignity. And at Wobble $200,000, it replaces 2 full-time aides. Designed for public spaces, malls and showrooms, the A2 is friendly, fluent in Mandarin and English, and built for interaction and guidance. With more than 40 degrees of freedom, articulated hands, and NVIDIA Jetson on board, it hands out brochures, helps customers, and avoids crowds. It's less about replacing workers, more about blending into daily life. On April 19, 2025, at the Yizhuang Half Marathon in Beijing, something unbelievable happened. A humanoid robot, Tiangong Ultra, completed the entire 21-kilometer race in just under 2 hours and 41 minutes. It wasn't a PR stunt. It was a full test of real-world endurance, featuring human-style running algorithms, 3 live battery swaps, and top-tier balance control. Only 6 of the 21 robots finished. Tiangong Ultra finished first. The message was clear. This isn't a lab race anymore. Robots are entering the human arena. China isn't testing humanoids. China is deploying them. In factories. In showrooms. In logistics centers. Even in hospitals. And they're not doing it for headlines. They're doing it because they want to automate 70% of repetitive labor, and they're well on their way. Unitree, Xpeng, JD, Foxconn, Robot Era, and BYD. Names you may have ignored. But in the background, they're quietly building a new workforce. From affordable consumer bots to world record sprinters, from industrial workhorses to tireless public servants. This is the reality of China's humanoid ecosystem. It is vast, diverse, and moving with unparalleled urgency. It is an all-encompassing strategy designed to seize leadership in a technology that will define the coming century. Before we head to the next continent, ask yourself this. If robots are already running races, loading trucks, and replacing factory lines in China, what happens when they show up where you work? Let us know in the comments which Chinese robot shocked you the most. Would you trust one of these machines to do your job? And hey, if you're loving this breakdown of the world's most advanced humanoids, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because next, we're heading to the Europe where tech giants are building robots that don't just move, they think. We journey now to a continent where the story of robotics is not a single state-driven narrative, but a mosaic of individual brilliance. From the industrial heartland of Germany to the research labs of the UK and the radical startups of Poland, the European approach is different. It is less concerned with a monolithic race for global dominance and more focused on pushing the absolute boundaries of what is possible in specialized domains. This is a continent of precision engineers, of social roboticists, of open-source collaborators, and of biomimicking pioneers. Here, we will discover a collection of machines, each a unique and vital piece in the global humanoid puzzle. They're not trying to win headlines. They're not pumping out bots by the thousands. But behind the scenes, Europe is quietly building some of the smartest, most advanced, and most versatile humanoids the world has ever seen. Let's start in Spain, where PAL Robotics took things to a new level with the release of Talos 2 in 2024. Standing 6'1" and weighing around 100 kilograms, Talos 2 is no lightweight. It's engineered for strength and precision, with fully torque-controlled joints, real-time resistance feedback, and multi-sensor haptics and vision systems. This bot isn't built for entertainment. It's made for high-risk industrial work. Like aerospace manufacturing, where over-tightening a bolt can cost millions. During a live demo in Barcelona, Talos 2 worked side by side with a human tech, passing tools and following voice commands with military precision. It's expensive, it's powerful, and for the right industries. It's worth every euro. From the same company comes RI2, a rolling humanoid built for real public spaces, airports, expos, libraries. It has LED eyes that blink and express emotion, fully articulated arms, a voice assistant that speaks multiple languages, and emotional tone detection. At the 2024 Smart City Expo, RI2 helped guide thousands of attendees in English, Spanish and Catalan, answering questions, guiding routes, even posing for selfies. RI2 isn't lifting crates. It's designed to be approachable, helpful, and unforgettable. Before we cross into France, real quick, if you're planning to make breakdowns like this, or just want to save time editing content, check out FlexClip. It's got AI voiceovers that sound clean and human auto-subtitles in over 140 languages, pre-built templates that make creating reels, intros, and faceless videos so much easier. Whether you're just starting or scaling up your channel, FlexClip helps you produce smarter, not harder. Links below, give it a shot. From France, meet Reachi 2 by Robotics, the most hacker-friendly humanoid on the list. Standing 5 feet 3 inches, it's lightweight, modular, fully open source, and designed for labs, classrooms, indie developers, and DIY enthusiasts. It supports bipedal walking, Vision AI, ROS2, and is compatible with large language models. Universities in France and Canada are already using it to teach robotics hands-on, not in theory. Reachi 2 isn't built for factories. It's built for the future of learning, where anyone can build their own humanoid. Now let's go to Italy, where the ICUB 3 project from the Italian Institute of Technology is redefining robotic embodiment. ICUB 3 is small, under 4 feet, but it's a robotic avatar, controlled in real time by a human wearing an exosuit, VR headset, and haptic gloves. In live tests, Italian researchers used ICUB 3 to interact with a room in Japan, pick up coffee, wave at people, and hold conversations, all remotely. This isn't just robotics, it's presence without borders, ideal for education, remote care, or entering danger zones without risking a life. Germany, a nation whose very name is synonymous with engineering excellence. Here, the pursuit of robotics is a reflection of the national character, an unwavering focus on reliability, safety, and the creation of highly advanced practical systems. First, we meet 4A1 Gen 3, the third-generation humanoid from Neuro Robotics in Germany, launching mid-2025. At nearly 6 feet tall and 80 kilograms, it's built for utility, adaptability, and precision. Its onboard AI handles depth perception, spatial awareness, gesture recognition, and real-time decision-making. This isn't just a robot that follows instructions, it understands the context. Deployed in labs and healthcare pilots, 4A1 Gen 3 is designed to replace human hands in delicate, repetitive environments. Let's talk TORO. Also from Germany's DLR, German Aerospace Center, is TORO, a humanoid built for places humans fear to go: nuclear plants, space stations, radiation zones. TORO is 6 feet 1 inch and 100 kilograms, with real-time force control, fall recovery strategies, and whole-body movement commands. It's already passed stress tests where engineers deliberately pushed, tripped, and destabilized it, and it stayed on its feet. With a future on Mars or in orbit, TORO is built for precision and survival, not performance. Finally, Germany's Karlsruhe Institute of Technology introduced Armar 7 in 2024, and it may be one of the most intelligent robots in Europe. Why? It doesn't just execute tasks. It remembers where objects were placed, previous conversations, and the user's preferences. In one kitchen demo, Armar 7 watched a man start making tea, and offered him the sugar jar it remembered from yesterday. Its hands can open jars, unwrap packaging, and load dishwashers. Its sensors can handle fragile objects without breaking them. This isn't flashy AI. This is deeply adaptive AI, the kind that could support aging populations, healthcare workers, or just help you cook dinner. From Germany's engineering focus, we travel to the United Kingdom, a nation that has produced some of the world's most breathtakingly realistic and interactive androids. Here, the primary pursuit is not just motion, but emotion. And there is no better example than Ameca, from Cornwall-based Engineered Arts. Many have called Ameca the most expressive robot in the world, and for good reason. It can blink, squint, smile, and show subtle shifts of surprise or curiosity in perfect sync with a conversation. It reacts not just to your words, but to your tone and pauses, creating an unnerving feeling that it is truly listening. The secret is that Engineered Arts focuses on creating the world's most advanced robotic platform, not the AI brain itself. The system is open, allowing anyone to connect their own intelligence, from GPT-based language models to custom AI stacks. This makes Ameca the ultimate interface for human-robot interaction research. It wasn't built to lift crates, it was designed for presence, and as its creators will tell you, once you have a face-to-face conversation with it, you don't forget it. Not because it feels like a perfect machine, but because for a few moments it almost doesn't. But the UK is also investing in pragmatism. This is HMND-01, the debut robot from London-based startup Humanoid. It is the no-nonsense answer to the UK's need for a work-ready robotic laborer. Clean, functional, and entirely modular for easy repairs. The HMND-01 is built for the factory floor. It can walk at a brisk 1.5 meters per second and lift up to 15 kilograms, designed to seamlessly fill gaps in logistics and light production where companies are struggling to hire. It represents the other side of the British robotics coin, less about the uncanny valley, and more about the bottom line. Some of the most radical and potentially game-changing ideas in robotics are emerging from countries you might not expect. In Poland, a startup called Clone Robotics is doing something revolutionary. They are not just copying how humans move, they are copying what we are made of. This is the Clone Alpha, and it represents a complete paradigm shift in robotics. The company has ditched traditional rigid electric motors and has instead powered its humanoid with tendon-driven artificial muscles, modeled directly on the biomechanics of real human tissue. These pneumatic muscle units contract, relax, and flex with variable tension, enabling movement that is eerily smooth and biological. In early demos, the Alpha has performed tasks like lifting weights with visibly tensing muscles, and gently holding a raw egg, its pressure-sensing fingers reacting to micro-resistance in real time. The ultimate goal is to create a full-body robotic system that behaves and reacts like a human because it is built like one, finally closing the gap between machine and man, not with software, but with a fundamentally different kind of hardware. Meanwhile, in Norway, 1X Technologies, a company backed by OpenAI, is pursuing a strategy of quiet competence. Their humanoid, Neo Gamma, is grounded in a simple philosophy: augmentation over flashy tricks. It is designed to handle the mundane, everyday physical labor, where robots still struggle, folding clothes, sorting boxes, holding tools, and stocking shelves. Its design prioritizes energy efficiency, allowing it to operate for a full 8-hour shift on a single battery pack. But its true power lies in its vision, which runs on OpenAI's latest embedded visual language models locally on the robot. This gives it an advanced understanding of its surroundings. The Neo Gamma is already being tested in warehouses outside Oslo, and with its focus on practical workforce augmentation, it might just become one of the most widely deployed humanoids in the West, without anyone even realizing it was Norwegian. Europe's humanoids aren't trying to go viral. They're built to be modular, intelligent, and useful, in labs, cities, factories, and homes. They don't need to dance, they just need to remember what you said yesterday, and hand you a cup of tea when it matters. Now let's move on to a powerful, symbolic section featuring India, Saudi Arabia, and emerging players in the Middle East and Southeast Asia, including Brunei and any other noteworthy Arab countries, contributing to the humanoid robotics movement. This region isn't just building humanoids for factories, they're crafting cultural icons, national symbols, and even spacebound astronauts in robotic form. They're not building bots to do backflips or flip burgers. They're building humanoids to represent their nations, connect with people, and carry their values into the future. Let's start in India, where the humanoid revolution isn't just technological. It's emotional, spiritual, and even interplanetary. Developed by ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, Viomitra isn't headed to a warehouse. She's headed to space. Unveiled in 2024, Viomitra is a female humanoid robot designed for India's Gaganyaan crewed space missions. She doesn't walk, she floats. Designed for zero gravity, Viomitra is built to monitor cabin conditions, flip switches, read analog instruments, and communicate with mission control in Hindi and English. More than a helper, she's a symbol of India's future in space exploration. And when she finally boards Gaganyaan, she'll become one of the first humanoids to orbit the Earth for real. Now back on Earth. Meet Mitra 3, launched by Invento Robotics in 2024. You'll find her in hospitals, temples, hotels, and banks. She doesn't try to look hyper-realistic. She's got a charming, clearly robotic face, expressive LED eyes, and a touchscreen chest. Mitra 3 can greet visitors, speak in multiple Indian languages, answer FAQs, and pull records from back-end systems. And her greatest strength? Approachability. In a world of sterile automation, Mitra 3 is the friendly face of Indian AI. Introduced during the vibrant Gujarat Summit in 2024, and even showcased to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Skanda is a PR masterpiece. Built by Kodi Technolab, this humanoid was designed to be a national symbol, a public speaker, and a tech rep for India's smart cities movement. Though it doesn't have legs, it rolls gracefully on a base and features facial expressions, voice recognition, emotion analysis, and multilingual communication. Skanda isn't here to lift crates, it's here to represent India at events, expos, and international tech showcases. Now let's go west to Saudi Arabia, where Sarah, the AI cultural ambassador, made her debut at LEAP 2024, the kingdom's flagship tech conference. Developed by QSS Robotics and the Saudi Data and AI Authority, Sarah is a humanoid designed not for factories, but for human connection. She speaks fluent Arabic and English, recites Saudi poetry, tells jokes, answers cultural questions, and greets visitors at government buildings, tech expos, and cultural centers. Her design is smooth and expressive, with facial recognition, real-time conversation, and eye contact and emotional expression. Saudi Arabia didn't build Sarah to be a worker, they built her to be a symbol, of Vision 2030, of heritage blended with AI, and of a future where tradition meets technology. While Brunei hasn't released a native humanoid yet, the country has begun integrating foreign humanoid tech into public service trials. In 2024, Brunei's Ministry of Education collaborated with regional AI partners to test humanoid classroom assistants built on platforms like PAL Robotics AI, 2 and Pollen Robotics Reachi. These robots are currently being used in STEM education programs, government-backed youth coding labs, and language learning centers. Brunei's approach is less about engineering from scratch, and more about adapting proven platforms for cultural and educational integration. Watch this space, a Malay-speaking, Brunei-branded humanoid may be next. While not building many humanoids in-house yet, the UAE has rapidly adopted high-end humanoids for Expo 2020 Dubai, where bots like Ameca, Pepper, and Sophia were featured, airport concierge roles, and museum guides and luxury retail greeters. The Emirates are positioning humanoids as part of the luxury and tourism experience, mixing cultural awareness, multilingual speech, and AI-driven service. Dubai's Museum of the Future and Etihad Towers have piloted robots capable of recognizing VIPs, guiding visitors, and speaking Arabic, French, Mandarin, and English. UAE may not be building them yet, but they're showing the world how to elevate robots into prestige experiences. In this region, humanoids aren't just tools, they're teachers, speakers, nurses, and national symbols. Whether riding rockets into orbit, reciting Arabic poetry at tech expos, or comforting patients in temple hospitals, these machines are built for presence, dignity, and connection. Not just hardware, honorware. Canada may not be producing robots at the same volume as China or the Flash of Japan, but it's doing something far more radical. It's building humanoids that can think, not perform, not greet, not run, but reason, plan, adapt, and replace human labor, without needing to redesign the world around them. In mid-2024, Vancouver-based Sanctuary AI introduced a humanoid that didn't just mimic human behavior. It started doing actual human jobs. Enter Phoenix Gen 7, a 5's even, 70 kg humanoid that can fold towels, use tools, pick up fragile items, sort boxes in a warehouse, and operate machinery, all autonomously. But here's the twist. Phoenix doesn't rely on a chatbot jammed into a robot body. It's powered by a full cognitive architecture, software that mimics perception, memory, reasoning, and decision-making. Phoenix sees a problem, figures out what to do, and executes it, without human micromanagement. In live tests, it adjusted grip pressure mid-task, reacted to object shifts, and learned workflows without being reprogrammed. No dramatic face, no friendly eyes. Just a working-class robot that walks, lifts, and adapts to its environment. Just 1 year later, in 2025, Phoenix Gen 8 was released, and it's a serious upgrade. It still stands 5s even, still weighs about 70 kg, but under the hood, it's a machine designed to outperform humans in thought motion. Here's what's new: multimodal reasoning, which combines vision, memory, physical feedback, and goal tracking in real time. Self-correction, with mid-task adjustments if objects shift or instructions change. And it's simulation trained, exposed to thousands of job scenarios, before ever touching a real-world object. Early field trials have placed Gen 8 inside logistics warehouses, testing labs, and materials handling facilities. Its refined motor system allows it to navigate tight corridors, recognize fragile objects, and adapt movement based on situational context. Sanctuary isn't selling sci-fi, it's selling humanoids that can replace humans on day one, no extra setup required. Unlike companies that chase media hype, Sanctuary AI has focused on deep industrial integration. No gimmicks, no promises of robot waiters or dance-offs, just robots trained for the real economy, where labor shortages, repetitive strain, and high turnover cost businesses billions. It's to build one that thinks like a worker, learns like a human, and gets smarter on the job. Phoenix Gen 8 might not make headlines like Tesla's Optimus, but it's already walking factory floors, earning a paycheck. While others build for the stage, Canada is building for the shift. Phoenix isn't flashy, it doesn't smile, but it knows what it's doing. And if Sanctuary's next update delivers on its promise, we may soon see a workforce where the most competent employee is one who never calls in sick, never quits, and never needs retraining. Now we enter the United States, the world's most visible, most controversial, and arguably most ambitious player in the humanoid robot race. In America, the goal isn't just to build robots that work. It's to build labor-class machines that scale, fast. Robots that replace people, not as a concept, but as a product line. This is where AI, venture capital and robotics engineering collide, and the results are powerful, unsettling, and unavoidable. This quest rests on the shoulders of the pioneers who first dared to dream this big. The companies that made the world believe that dynamic-legged robotics was not just a fantasy. For over a decade, Boston Dynamics Atlas was the undisputed king of robotic spectacle. Its jaw-dropping acrobatics defined the wow factor for an entire generation. But in 2024, the company announced a historic shift. They retired the noisy hydraulic Atlas, and in its place, unveiled a machine that was completely new. Sleek, silent, fully electric, and possessing a range of motion that was both stronger and far more agile than its predecessor. This new Atlas was built with a single purpose, not for stunt reels, but for real-world work, and it got a job immediately. In a landmark moment for the industry, Boston Dynamics, now owned by Hyundai, began integrating the new electric Atlas into its parent company's automotive factory pilot programs. For the first time, the world's most famous research robot was officially clocking in, autonomously moving car parts, staging tools, and navigating the dynamic, unpredictable environment of a state-of-the-art assembly line. The pioneer that had inspired the dream was finally living it. This version is all electric, factory-ready, quiet, efficient, and precise. In its debut demo, Atlas picked up and loaded heavy toolboxes, spun 180 door mid-stride, navigated uneven terrain, and used force sensors to adjust its balance and posture in real time. Atlas was seen operating inside Hyundai factory pilot programs, assisting in tool staging, component delivery, and assembly prep. Boston Dynamics isn't here to entertain anymore. They're here to compete on real industrial floors. But while Atlas was capturing the headlines, another American pioneer was quietly getting the job done. This is Digit, from Agility Robotics. And while it may not perform high-flying acrobatics, it has arguably become one of the most deployed and real-world tested humanoids in the United States. Its design is a masterclass in functional stability. The unique reverse knee or digitigrade legs are not built to mimic humans perfectly, but are optimized for energy efficiency, allowing Digit to operate for long shifts. It was built from day one to navigate human environments. It can climb stairs, open doors, and even ride elevators. Its most significant partnership is with the largest logistics company on the planet, Amazon. In a collaboration that sent shockwaves through the industry, Amazon began testing Digit in its fulfillment centers. Its first task, tote recycling, a repetitive but essential job of grabbing empty storage bins and moving them across the facility. This is not a future concept, it is happening now. While other robots were still in the lab, Digit was already walking the factory floor, proving that in the race to build a robotic workforce, sometimes the quietest player is the furthest ahead. You've probably seen Digit and not even realized it. With reverse knee legs, 5 feet 9 inches stature, and a backpack-sized battery, Digit was one of the first humanoids to actually hit the factory floor. Agility Robotics isn't chasing viral moments. They're quietly deploying Digit in warehouses, fulfillment centers, and Amazon logistics trials. Digit can climb stairs, open doors, ride elevators, lift totes, and recycle packaging, without disturbing human workers. In recent updates, Digit now self-rights after falls, charges autonomously, and recognizes and grabs scattered items with improved precision. It may not do flips, but it does everything companies are willing to pay for. And that's why it's winning. In early 2025, Tesla dropped a shockwave with Optimus Gen 3, and this time, it wasn't just walking, it was working. Standing 5 feet 8 inches and weighing around 150 pounds, Optimus Gen 3 features Tesla-designed actuators, fully articulated hands, and AI vision trained on the same dataset as Tesla's full self-driving system. In live demos, it sorted battery cells, moved crates, performed light assembly, and even realigned its grip mid-task, like a skilled worker. What changed? Gen 3 isn't a prototype anymore. It's already integrated into Tesla gigafactories, learning by doing. The goal? Mass production, with a sub-$20,000 price tag. Elon Musk says Optimus is now learning new tasks every month. And the message is clear. Tesla doesn't want to build the world's most powerful humanoid. They want to build the most useful one, at scale. In 2024, Figure AI unveiled Figure 02, a lean, 5 feet 6 inches, 132-pound humanoid, designed from day one for scalable labor. With high-speed vision, soft grip sensors, torque-controlled joints, and real-time feedback loops, Figure 02 can walk autonomously, identify objects, pick and place items, and follow complex voice commands. Its pilot program with BMW in South Carolina stunned critics. Figure 02 worked alongside humans on a real production line, with no gimmicks, no cage, and no panic buttons. Originally powered by OpenAI's multimodal stack, Figure broke off the partnership in 2025, claiming they'd made a breakthrough in their own end-to-end AI control system. Now Figure 03 is in development, moving from carbon fiber prototypes to mass production-ready hardware. Their goal? Nothing less than a universal laborer in humanoid form. Born out of NASA's Valkyrie project, Aptronic's Apollo is a humanoid with both modularity and muscle. Standing 5 feet 8 inches, 160 pounds, Apollo is built to push carts, move packages, deliver materials, and operate around humans safely. With every joint force limited, Apollo is designed to work side by side with people in places like warehouses, manufacturing plants, and hospitals. Its 4-hour battery, hot swap power packs, and LED face panels make it ready for real deployments, and by 2025, Apollo was already piloting at Mercedes-Benz and Jabil. The vision is simple. Don't redesign the world to fit robots. Build robots that fit the world. Finally, we have Themis V2, a 5 feet 10 inches humanoid, built by Westwood Robotics, and it may be the most underrated robot in America. Why? Because it doesn't just execute. It intends. It uses something called an intentionality system, meaning it doesn't just grab a wrench, it understands why it's grabbing it, adjusts grip, torque, and posture accordingly. Themis has neural feedback, control micro-aligned grip sensors, quiet aerospace-grade motion, and an internal system that tracks the purpose of every movement. It's not built for hauling boxes. It's made for lab work, machine calibration, and precise industrial tasks, where close enough just isn't good enough. Themis V2 may never dance, but it will outthink almost every robot in the room. In America, robots aren't being built to inspire trust. They're being built to deliver output. Replace roles, scale, from Tesla's factory bots to Figure AI's universal workers. The US isn't preparing for a humanoid future. It's already engineering it, and in a world where every second counts and every dollar matters, precision wins. Intelligence scales. And those who hesitate get automated. We've taken you across the globe, from the deserts of China to the labs of Canada, from Saudi showrooms to Korean shipyards, and everywhere in between. What we've shown you is not theoretical, not a sci-fi trailer, not a clickbait prediction. These are real humanoid robots, walking, working, earning paychecks. Not in 2040, not someday. Right now, the estuary cap. China is deploying humanoids by the hundreds, fast, cheap, and ruthless. The US is optimizing for precision, scale, and quiet labor replacement. Japan and Korea are building robots that teach, perform, and patrol. India and Saudi Arabia are shaping robots as symbols of culture and vision. Europe is engineering intelligence and adaptability with surgical controls. And nations like Canada, Russia, and the UAE are quietly laying their foundations, not to follow but to compete. One last tool you should know before we close. If this deep dive inspired you to create something of your own, don't miss FlexClip. It's the platform I use to convert ideas into full-scale videos, script-to-video, AI voice, auto subtitles, animations, and more. Whether it's documentaries, tech explainers, or short-form content, this tool's made a huge difference in how I create. Link is in the description. Take a look and start building. Now, let's reflect on what this humanoid revolution really means for us all. It's Herbiction. The Aptronics, formative that, Tidolas endefer die Sifsen Wies, for Shitful Pon, it's Herbiction. Doesn't get tired. Doesn't forget. They don't complain, they don't unionize, they don't ask for raises, and they're not just replacing laborers, they're replacing thinkers, programmers, pilots, clerks, caregivers. Robots don't just flip boxes, they co-pilot planes. They write code. They diagnose symptoms. They remember your preferences from yesterday and adjust. The global workforce is splitting, not into rich versus poor, but into those who work with AI and those who get replaced by it. So here's the question: what happens when there are more robots than workers? What happens when every mall, every hospital, every port, and every factory runs smoother without you? What happens when a $20,000 robot outperforms a $50,000 employee and never takes a sick day? What happens when your next boss isn't human? This isn't the future. It's the present. Wearing a metallic face, it just walked past you. It didn't blink, and it never will. Drop a comment below. Which robot shocked you the most? Would you trust a robot to work in your hospital, your factory, your home? Or are we already too late to stop what's coming? Alles Ende für case. You're wide awake, so hit that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives, and turn on notifications, because in the next episode, we're going even more deeper. Until then, stay sharp, because the future isn't waiting. It's arriving, one humanoid at a time.